Hey, welcome back to the Common Ground North Dakota podcast. I'm Heather.
And I'm Jen.
I've been a chef for 10 years.
And I'm a registered dietitian. We've all heard the saying, farm to table. But what if the conversation was table to farm?
Join Jen and I as we sit down with ag experts to dig in and find out more about North Dakota agriculture. All right, welcome back to Common Ground North Dakota. I'm Heather.
I'm Jen.
And we're ready for another episode.
Yes. So last episode, we talked with Scott
Yes,
of
Scott
SB&B.
Sinner. So many soy facts that I had no idea. And I love soy.
Me too.
So it was nice to learn.
Yeah, and we talked a little bit about maybe consumers and folks listening maybe haven't had experience trying soy products or those types of things. And he gave us some good ideas on how to incorporate these into meals or what to try.
Who could say no to a French fry? I mean, putting the tofu in an air fryer and it becoming a French fry.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you just speak the language of the American population right
Try
there.
Try this.
It's a French fry.
Well, and we have someone in the studio today.
Yes.
That's related to Scott.
I know. It's his cousin.
Yes.
So welcome, Marjie.
Thanks for coming, Marjie.
Yes, thanks for having me.
So it's exciting because we talked to Scott a little bit last time about the family, right? And the business was 5th generation family farm.
Yep.
And we're so interested to visit with you in like your story because everybody has a story, right?
Yep.
And how they're connected to North Dakota agriculture and kind of just the day in the life.
Yeah.
Of what it's like to live on a North Dakota farm and what are the things that you can share with our audience? So tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. So I am originally from Castleton, North Dakota.
Okay.
And my history is my dad is a Pyle, which is he's the 4th generation. I'm a 5th generation farmer.
Okay.
My mom, her last name is Sinner. And so that's how I related
so that's
to
the connection. Okay.
to Scott. And so I'm the 5th generation on the Sinner family as well.
Okay.
So both sides,
Both sides. And so that's the North Dakota side of me.
Okay.
And then I married a farmer from Fertile, Minnesota.
Okay.
And he is actually with both his mom and dad is the 5th generation farmer as well. So we have very, very, very deep farming roots.
Right.
And so there's a lot of history.
Okay.
A lot of it is family land that has been in the family for a really long time. So back 3 years ago, we decided to move to Castleton.
Okay.
Our operation started when Austin and I got married in 2006.
Okay.
And we decided to start our family in Fertile.
Okay.
And we sort of had a 50-50, what are we going to do? How are we going to do this? And we just picked Fertile. And so that was in 2006, all while we were also still going to farm in Castleton. So we had the commute between the two towns.
That's not easy.
No, not at all. Not at all. And so we farmed from 2006 all the way until 2021, living in Fertile.
Doing the commute.
Doing the commute.
Did you have kids at that time?
Yep. We have 3 children.
Oh, wow.
And that was really, really, really tough. I originally, when we had the kids, my first was born in 2008. We didn't live on the farm. So I was living in town raising the kids and my husband was commuting to the farm, his family farm. So that was really, really tough.
Yeah.
I had 3 kids in 3.5 years.
Oh, goodness.
And so that really made it so I was sort of doing the stuff at home and he was doing the farming. So that was really tough. But then eventually in 2015, we moved out to his parents' farm.
Okay.
And lived there for until 2021.
Okay.
When we had decided that something had to change. Austin farms with his brother-in-law, so his sister's husband, and he is absolutely phenomenal. And so what was happening was my dad was turning 70.
Okay.
And I'm one of 4 girls.
Okay.
And so I'm the only one that would take over in Castleton, I'm the only farmer.
Okay, so your dad was
my
looking
family.
for someone to take over.
So my dad was sort of, Austin and I had already been the people that were farming his land, but something needed to change as far as how we were going to move forward with the operation of farming both places.
Sure.
It made it only the best decision for everybody, for us to pick up and move. And our kids were at the perfect age. Our oldest daughter was going into 8th grade.
Okay.
Oh.
And so we just had decided junior high was better than high school.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
it all just fell into place. Our kids were so amazing with the move, and I couldn't have asked for better. We would have put the brakes on everything if they weren't.
Yep.
You know, they're at such crucial developmental ages of life, and we just had decided that if they're on board, then why not? Why not try this and see how it goes? So we, in June, we decided to just enroll in some Parks and Rec activity.
Oh, that was smart.
And
Kind
just
of
to get a taste,
meet some people.
Get a taste of, how the town is and meet some girls and boys and whatever. And they fell in love with it.
Oh, that's
They
great.
got some really good friends, and they're still really good friends with a lot of the people. So the classroom size about doubled for us. The whole school
That's
doubled.
a big change.
So it was a really big change.
Glad
We
the
appreciate
transition worked for you, because that
Yes.
was a big decision for you.
It
Right.
was. It was one of those that now looking back, we did it the right time. I wouldn't change it for the world. I wouldn't have really done it any earlier, because my kids really enjoyed over there as well. And we still have the connection, and our world is so much bigger. Having both towns that love us and have embraced all that we have done, and also within the family, for us to have handed it over to a brother-in-law and know that so much is getting taken care of still over there. We still have the same farming operations. It's just where the 5 of us live.
Sure.
Is about the only thing that changed. So
So you grow the same thing?
All the same stuff.
And you're
Yep.
doing soybeans?
well,
Some soybeans.
well, yes, we have the natto beans.
natto.
We have
Ding, ding, ding.
Okay.
Okay.
We have
Scott
the
talked
nattos. We have soybeans. We do corn.
Okay.
We do wheat. We do sugar beets. We've done sunflowers.
Wow.
You
so
do a
it's all-
lot.
it is all a whole gamut of everything that my husband ever dreams of trying. The one thing that sort of plays a factor each year is how much moisture we have and where the moisture is. Some years are better than others. The ground over in Fertile is absolutely completely different than the Red River Valley of Castleton. So one is in the bottom of the Lake Agassiz and one is on the shore of Lake Agassiz.
Okay.
So we're dealing with a lot of different soil types. So with
Sure.
that being said, you just kind of adjust. The sunflowers have been grown over there and have been a success some years for us.
Yeah.
And the sugar beets we have grown at both locations by each year you have to do the rotation of the sugar beets.
Yeah.
So how our land was in where acres were and stuff, you have to rotate them. And by rotation, we would do like 3 or 4 years in Fertile and then transition and do 3 or 4 years in Castleton.
Oh.
Over the years, we've just kind of had that rotation of some years here and some years there.
Oh, wow.
Where now that we live in Castleton, we really would like to keep them there because it's a little bit better. It's a shorter commute for us and stuff. But harvest is a big, huge process with having 2 locations.
I can't even imagine.
Right. And like we learned about sugar beets back a few episodes ago, and like all it takes to
24 hours.
Yes.
and that's intense.
It's very intense. It's very intense. And it's the amount of people you have to have just as temporary help is probably one of the hardest things for us, because we get a lot back that come year after year, but still you need to fill those gaps of people that aren't a seasoned person of sugar beets, or you have to ask them to take time off their regular job just to come and help. And a lot of people love to do it, but it's asking quite a bit.
Sure.
And my dad turning 70, it just really made such a huge difference for somebody to actually be there and to make the land something that was, the opportunity was just kind of something we couldn't pass up. And
he's got to be proud.
I would say he is. Yes.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
We've definitely had moments of feeling like he's pretty happy with how it all fell into place for us. So, and my older sisters are so excited that it stayed within the family. And they're very supportive of this move for us, and they knew it was hard, but they're very supportive too. So
that's wonderful. So you talk about like your kids, and Heather and I are both moms too, and I experienced a move similar to that. But I mean, I did take into account like, where are my kids at? How easy is this? Because as a mom, like, there's nothing probably more important than your family, and like, how are my kids gonna adjust? And you've explained like kind of your thought process in between that, and like, family obviously is very important to you as well. Like, just the legacy that your father wanted to leave, and like how you've taken over, and now how your kids have embraced it. But you really had them on the forefront of your mind as well when you were thinking through this transition. So that was always what Austin and I had agreed on. Neither of us, my husband and I, had a move in our life. We went K through 12 in the same school, and we had nothing to reference. We had no feelings of, good, bad, or the other. We just had to go with our gut instinct and what they were telling us and stuff. Our youngest boy was probably the hardest to convince, just because he was pretty set in, and he was only in 3rd grade. So that's kind of hard.
And you just think in the 3rd grade, this is it. Like, this is my world.
Yes, this is what I got. And so sports are pretty huge in Castleton. So he's getting into that more than we ever thought he would. But once you're a farmer, you're always a farmer. He comes back after practice and goes straight to the tractor for us.
That's cool.
So,
I was just going to ask, like, how are your kids involved in the family operations? What do they have, like, different tasks or roles?
We almost have to pull ourselves back sometimes and just remember they are kids. They're not our full-time help.
They're not employees.
Yes. Our son, for sure, he can drive anything we need him to.
Really?
He could put in a full 12-hour day if we needed him to. He just really, he lives and breathes
loves it. So when he's getting done with his sports and going to help out with the farming, that's on his own accord. He's doing that.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
great.
Obviously,
so cool.
we give him the incentive. He races snowmobiles in the winter. So we give him the incentive of that's, your reward.
Sure.
And that's a really expensive hobby for him to have, as you know. So it's sort of the give and take of
work hard in the summer, and then you can ride in the winter.
Yes.
What a great, the lesson to teach kids, like the value of hard work. I feel like that, to me, like, coming from a family of farm ranchers, and my dad was a teacher. Like, he had many jobs because we were a small family farm too, but the value of hard work.
Yes,
I kind of go back to that even in my roles right now. Like, as a dietitian and philanthropist, like, I'd say I'm a farm kid from North Dakota. I just roll up my sleeves and get it done.
Yes.
Like, but that's the mentality.
But you've had that. Yeah.
I had to work with the cattle to raise money for my clothes, like for school.
Absolutely.
And like, I think that is kind of a part of North Dakota families and the heritage.
And it's something I feel like in general is lost. Like, I feel like as a parent, I want my kids to have that, right? And trying to teach those things. So, I mean, there's chores, right?
Yes.
But then they're living on a farm, there's things that have to be done.
Right. And showing them that, working hard, and then you get to play hard. We play hard too.
That's great. It's that incentive, and it teaches them value and like what's important to you and them.
And I feel like they take that into the classroom, and they take that into all their aspects of the sports they play and all that kind of stuff. It's the respect of coaches and teachers and all that kind of stuff that just, it really is kind of a lesson that we don't even necessarily realize we're teaching them.
Big life lessons.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm wondering, could you take my kids for a couple weeks for like a summer camp? Like an intensive farm? Are you doing that yet? Like
No.
Immersions.
youth, like agritourism?
Yes, there you go.
Okay.
There you go. We absolutely, I should start something like
Let
that.
me know. You let me know when you do.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I
Sounds
got
good.
a 16-year-old that probably needs another job too. So
Yes, absolutely.
no, I think so thinking back to like what a day looks like for you as a member of a family farm. Like, what could it be? Like, how early do you start? Like, paint the picture of this for like our listeners.
It
like,
probably depends on the
what's it
time
like?
of year.
I was just going to say that.
Okay.
It depends on the time of the year. But if I had to pick my favorite time of year to give you a day in the life, it would probably start at harvest time.
Okay.
It would be about that time. My kids, I have to send them to school, unfortunately, which
'cause you would
isn't
rather
always
they
my
stay
favorite
and
thing
help,
to do.
right?
Yes.
Because harvest
Yes.
to us in North Dakota is like,
that's
could
it.
be July through
Like I said, they're my
October.
full-time
Those
help.
pesky
so
laws, right? Just get in the way.
Yeah.
I lose them to school.
Okay.
But send them off to school, and then as it's sort of evolved with me not having such young children, I have taken on the role of help, the outside help.
Okay.
And so Austin has all the things organized and ready for somebody to drive. But it seems like I've fallen into, we've sort of joked that people don't really say no to me as far as asking if they'll come for a shift to help.
Nice.
So you line up all that.
Yes, I'm
Okay.
lining up. I would say this is about the sugar beet harvest time of truck drivers and all that
Okay.
kind of stuff. I'm more of the organizer, and it doesn't really work very well to have a couple of us trying to do that, because then you have two drivers for one truck or
Sure.
whatever. So anyway, I've taken over that role and lined up truck drivers for the day and just organizing who's going to be on what shift and who's the sugar beet harvest is 24 hours. So we have to make sure that
That's a lot of shifts to cover.
That's a lot of logistics.
and a lot of people that need to come in and do their time.
So 24 hours, how many trucks are moving at?
Well, we are usually allotted, the company tells you how many you can have.
Okay.
So we're usually allotted 5 in our 24-hour shift. So I would say on average, I like to have like 12 to 15 drivers, just because you need to, some people just come after their job. They can only do like 6 to midnight or, something like that. So those are kind of the fill-in people. And then you have the full-time ones that come in as well. So I would like it if it was just 10 and I just let them take care of their truck and just make sure it's going 24 hours, but it doesn't always work that way.
You need a backup.
You do
work
need a backup plan.
12-hour shifts then typically?
Well, unfortunately, there's a lot of operations that are able to say, yes, we're going to have you do 2 to 2 or you do 2 to 2. But that's not us, because we have people that really want to do it and are only able to do like the evening shift.
I suppose.
So we just have them be fill in, and then it all seems to fall into place really nice. I tend to, like I said earlier, I ask and they usually come and help. So it's temporary. So it's not like I'm asking them for months on end to come and do this. And so they're just helping us out. So one other part of my day, I would say, I had a grandma tell me back several years to never learn to drive a truck because you'll always have a job.
Okay, so did you take her advice?
No. I didn't
like
take her advice.
Truck?
No, it's not a stick shift. So my secret is out. It is not a stick shift. It's an automatic, but it's still
a big
Do you have to like
large
reverse
semi.
and stuff?
Yeah, that's the worst part.
Then,
With the big beep.
That's incredible.
Yes. So I started just a couple summers ago when we moved to Castleton, I did learn how to drive a truck because my husband bought an automatic truck because he knew that he would probably get more people to help.
Right.
It's just kind of a natural thing that's happened. Not everybody knows how to drive a stick shift.
Right.
So me included. And so once I had learned, I got into the shift of the sugar beet hours. So I put myself, I kind of am a fill-in, so I'm driving.
But now you know what they're doing, right?
Now I know where everybody is. I keep track a little bit more.
Okay.
And along with that, I'm usually feeding them.
Oh my goodness.
So we have up to like, it typically is 16 to 18 guys that we're feeding for lunch and supper. We usually do 2 meals a day.
And those probably are like dainty little meals. Like you need to...
No, not typically.
Okay.
Lunch can be some sandwiches or something that we've picked up or made fresh sandwiches. You just kind of put them in a pickup and grab them when you can.
It's like lunch, dinner. You know how you have that? Like from the farm, it's like, we're going home for dinner.
Yeah.
For dinner. Now is that like noon? Like that's your big meal. So it has that kind of
lunch, dinner.
Maybe?
It's funny where you are. Over in Fertile, it's dinner. But over in Castleton, it's lunch.
But okay, this is making sense to me why everyone says yes to work for you because you're making them food.
It sounds very appealing.
Lunch and dinner.
Yes.
I mean,
it does help.
These are
perks.
For sure.
That's for sure. And the supper can be, it'll be a hot meal of, we've done spaghetti and lasagna and ribs. And
I'm so hungry right now.
So you have to manage your time between making sure everyone's there, right? Scheduling that.
Maybe driving.
You driving yourself and then getting a hot meal to all these people.
And all while having 3 children. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, you wear a lot of hats.
I love it. And I do have to have a shout out to my mom. She has helped. Oh my gosh, unbelievable to make it all happen. And
I love it.
And
she's kind of the grocery runner.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's been in it way longer than I have. So I learned from her. She's the best teacher I have.
That's great.
It definitely is. I wouldn't be able to do it without her. She's the runner to the grocery store for me, and
that's awesome.
She's the planner, and she really helps. So it is a family.
The food is a big deal. I think unless
it is,
unless
really
you make the food, you don't realize what it entails.
Yes,
the grocery stores, the preparation. Like, what containers are you putting this in? I mean, it's a lot.
It is a lot, and I know that it's better than we don't pass any gas station or any convenience store that they can stop at. So where we're having them drive, if they haven't packed a meal or if they have packed a lunch, it's still really, really nice to get a hot home cooked meal in your shift. So
I'm sure
it's the perk.
Yes.
That's great.
It's the perk of it.
Well, and more nutritious from a dietitian standpoint.
That's a good point.
Yes.
So you're probably more alert, aware. Right?
That's a huge thing.
They always joke that they haven't really worked for it because their body is just pretty much sitting in a truck all day. They're
fuel.
like, yeah, exactly. It is sort of mental fuel. They physically haven't, been moving around and, you sort of snack on your lunchbox all day, don't you?
Well, and then you look forward to it. I'd be watching the clock. Like, okay, it's almost
time.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So when you're driving, what's that like? Like, do you drive at night when you can't see anything? How do you know where you're going?
Oh, my.
We do... I feel like a really good job of making sure that people come out during the daylight first.
Okay.
And so they can see and get a relation of where the turn is or where we're at as far as, and we hope that we don't get a new person after we've changed a field in the middle of the night. That's pretty hard to get your bearings at that point. But we also do orange construction cones at the turn on the highway. Or far enough, like away from the turn so that obviously you're driving a full truck of sugar beets that you need a long distance in order to stop. So we try to put the cone a little, to warn them, okay, your turn is coming. So we do as much as we can to put reflectors up and keep it so that they don't have any issues with going on the wrong road or that kind of stuff. So,
and so how long does it take to do one field typically?
It sugar beets is such a varied crop to harvest. Mm-hmm. We have harvested all the way after Halloween. We have been done by the 15th or 12th of October. Oh, wow. My birthday is October 23rd. Mm-hmm. It's my favorite time to have a birthday. Awesome. I just love that my birthday's then. But I would say of the, what are we on, 18 years of growing sugar beets, probably 15 of them have been on or around my birthday.
Okay.
Oh. Like so to complete that just okay,
and that's
just
when they're done.
That harvest.
Okay, because my birthday is October 5th. And whenever my mom tells my birthing story, she's like, well, we were driving to the hospital and there were sugar beets all over the road. Like it's part of the story.
I love it. Yeah. I love it.
That's how we know the time of year.
That's excellent. Yes. Well, congratulations on having a birthday during beet harvest.
So I'm the beginning of the harvest, your end.
I'm the end. And we sort of always judge that. Like we've had little celebration parties of my birthday and being done. And so, yeah, it is fun. My dad's birthday actually is October 1st. So he is the start right as well.
That's cool.
So the two of us naturally just really, really love beet harvest.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
And it sounds like you have to have a lot of flexibility, though, because you just never know what's going to happen.
And you throw in the 3 kids within that whole harvest. Our son has decided that football is what he likes.
Oh, yeah. Wait a second.
Fall sport.
Yep. And our daughters are phenomenal little volleyball players, and that's in the fall. So that throw in the sports. I have definitely been to a high school well, at that time it was junior high volleyball game, having had 0 sleep.
Oh my God. But you were there.
I walk in looking like a rag muffin, but I'm there. I'm there. You got to show up for those kids.
That's right.
And I think they appreciate and know that that's where it's all come from. I wouldn't let them skip anything because I'm busy, or if I show up, I show up. I know that they would understand if it didn't work out for me to make it there. Something always or can come up, but they're always really supportive and know kind of what's going on. So it is in their blood. I remember it as being in my blood and sort of what you did. You take meals out and open up the back of your hatchback and feed all the boys at the end of the field. And I remember sitting on a blanket and having all the guys come over and feeding them then. And that's sort of what I'm teaching my kids too. My girls are very involved in the kitchen.
Okay. Cool.
You would be very happy to know that they are my bakers.
Oh, they're making bread?
Oh, they bake
That's impressive.
Cookies and anything that I ask them. They're the housekeepers.
Really?
They do the laundry. They do the dishes. They do the cleaning. And I couldn't be more proud to be raising them as
that's so amazing.
That's
that
incredible.
Part of the operation. Yeah. I know they're not comfortable out doing some of the driving of things or physical work sometimes. So we put them to work in the kitchen.
It's all
and
important.
Doing the housework. It really is.
Great life skills.
When I'm outside of the house, none of that's getting done. So we've sort of fell into having them do that. And then Mason comes out to the truck with me and
and for you to come back then from working and doing all the driving and then be able to come home to a house that's put together.
Yep.
That's huge.
And to have my mom have some help as well. Yes. She's able to have the girls be kind of involved with her help as well. So
they're all equally important.
Yes.
They are within the family, especially a farm family.
Yep.
And it's going with their comfort levels. And how do you fit into the family operation? How do you fit into North Dakota agriculture and
finding your place?
Yeah,
it's all
find your
same.
place, find your journey.
And I like how it can evolve. Like now you're driving truck.
Yeah.
What are you going to be doing next?
Was that a smart decision to learn that? I haven't decided yet.
Yeah, is he going to buy you like a tractor or something next?
Well, that was a long time ago. I was doing that. So
I love it.
Now, yes, it's just evolved into truck driving now.
Okay.
So I've hauled grain, I've hauled corn to the elevator and all that kind of stuff now. So you just kind of do it.
Yeah. Whatever needs to be done.
Whatever needs to be done. Because for lack of better ways of putting it, I'm kind of the free help. You don't have to pay me to go into a truck. I mean, I know I get paid tenfold other ways, but we don't have to hire somebody else outside of me. If I'm capable of doing it and have the time, I can either bring a kid with me or I can just take the time to do it to sit and relax. And
yes. Well, and you know what needs to be done, right? Like growing up on a farm, you see it.
Yeah.
No one needs to tell you.
No.
You know exactly what needs to be done.
Yep. And if I don't see it, my husband's going to tell me. Bless his heart.
It's a good partnership.
But he's good at that. Yeah. He's good at that, making sure I know what needs to be done. So, nope, we are a very good partnership that just kind of makes everything roll. And I'm definitely more with the kids and he's more with the operation, but we come together when we need to come together. So
that's awesome.
Yes.
That's awesome. Well, we have to do our trivia. I'm trying to avoid it.
Oh, you did? I noticed that.
I'm like, maybe we can skip it because I'm not good at trivia.
Do you have some questions for us?
I do.
Okay, let me get the trophy because Heather's won it. I think the last, I don't even know how many times. We just leave her name permanently on it. But we'll have you ask us 3 questions and you can be the judge. Like, you know, we don't always get them exactly on. So
whoever
you can.
Closest,
yeah, we do the closest.
Okay. So I consider myself a stay-at-home mom, and I know that there's way more to it in my situation that's unique than just a stay-at-home mom. I hate the just word.
Yeah.
But what percentage of Americans are stay-at-home moms?
Oh. Currently?
Currently.
Okay.
It has changed. Like within the last year.
I feel like it's I like when it's worded, do you work outside the home?
Yeah.
Because you are
You're
working in the home.
You're right. And so my statistic came from, the
most
stay-at-home.
Most people say the stay-at-home
right.
thing, but we both know.
We both know.
You're working.
That's an occupation.
Okay, so I'm going to say 35%.
I said 15%.
It is 25%. It was 15 in 2022.
We tied.
And it already went up.
It went up.
Yep.
Do you think it's the pandemic?
I think so.
Right.
That would be my guess is the pandemic for sure.
Oh, interesting.
For sure. Just kind of reanalyzing. Well, and I mean, there's a lot that work from home.
Right. You're doing both.
Yeah, you're doing both. So you're.
Oh my goodness.
That's a significant amount.
It is. I like the number. Yeah. I am proud of that number.
Yeah,
I like that number.
Me too. Cool.
Yeah. Next question. How many miles is it from Fertile, Minnesota to Castleton, North Dakota?
I feel like I've almost driven it because I've driven from Union to Fargo. And I can like see myself doing it. I have no idea. 125 miles?
55.
90.
Oh.
It's 90 miles.
Like, so who even got that? I can't do math.
Calculator?
55, 90. I'm like 45 off.
Yes, 35.
You were 30.
But that's a big commute, especially during harvest.
It is. It definitely is a long way to have one piece of machinery in one spot. 90 miles. Yep.
You made the right decision. Because think how much more time you have now.
Right. We are still farming over there, so all of the operation is still functioning with that going on now.
So you still have to go back every once in a while.
We do have to go back and forth. We have evolved with how the equipment gets back and forth. Now we've got trailers and trucks and stuff that move combines and that kind of stuff, or have double of equipment. But back in the early part of this operation, I drove a combine from Fertile to Castleton one time.
You were the one with the blinky lights on the...
I passed another combine. I really did.
North Dakota rush hour. That's what I call that.
I did. It was over by Harwood on one of the dirt roads.
Did you guys is there like a certain way? Do you do the two
was a little newer, so I had the leg up. Yeah, I had the leg up.
That's so funny.
But that must be stressful driving that piece of equipment.
And long. It took a really long time.
Was there a radio in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it took a while. Yep.
Still.
Yep. Yep, that was a big one.
You didn't stop at the Dairy Queen, probably,
I didn't.
Right? Okay.
I could have, I guess. I had plenty of time. Yes. Okay, last question. What is the date that they say you are going to start your main campaign of sugar beet harvest?
Well, Is it your dad's birthday?
I know. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
I feel like she said it was her dad's birthday. October 1st.
Yes. Excellent.
It's Dad's
you
birthday.
got it. Yes.
I think
Good memory.
No,
Good
you got
memory.
it. We tied the first and the third, and then you won. Again. We'll just leave Heather's name on there. Like I said.
That was close. That was a close one.
I like that beautiful trophy. That's wonderful.
Isn't it cool?
Thank you.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Is that real corn or spray paint?
No, it's
Is
real.
it a real piece of corn?
You just that real gold.
No.
It's not. It's not real
maybe
gold, but it's real corn.
Yes, it's real corn spray painted. Excellent.
So we have a question that we ask all our guests. And what's your favorite part of being involved in North Dakota agriculture?
In thinking about this, the very, very first thing that popped into my head was raising my kids in it.
Mm-hmm.
And raising the next generation of hardworking citizens.
Yeah.
I'm not raising them to necessarily be farmers,
Right.
but just to know and to have the work ethic and the dedication to community and family and all that. That is by far my favorite part of raising the kids in
That's awesome.
the farming community and having them know that, that life is not easy and whatever path you choose, you need to work hard.
Yep.
And I have one that would love to be in medicine and one that would love to be in, I'm not even really sure what avenue she's at right now. Mason says he wants to farm, but there's absolutely no pressure. We're not that type of parents where it's like we needed to have a boy in order to move on with the farm. We just would love to have them do what's right for them and be hardworking citizens that contribute to society. And
well, it sounds like
kind.
you're doing exactly that.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you. I hope so. I hope that is how it works out for everybody.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest part is just to be kind.
Right.
That is where we start with every single day is just to be kind. So
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, we've so enjoyed having you here.
Well, thank you for having
It
me.
was so fun talking to you.
Thank you for having me.
and giving us a glimpse into what it's actually like.
Yes.
To
Thank you.
live
The
in
life.
a farm family
Yes.
and like what it all involves and like just the whole picture of it. So thanks so much for taking time
Yes. Thank
to
you.
meet with us.
Thank you.
And for our listeners, you can listen to us wherever you listen to your podcasts. And we're so excited to come back. And
We'll be back talking about something amazing.
Yes, and Common
tune
Ground
in.
ND. So tune in next time, and we thank you for listening.
Thanks for tuning in to the Common Ground North Dakota podcast. Make sure to follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Most importantly, send us your questions about North Dakota agriculture by visiting our website. You might win a prize. We'll see you in the next episode of the Common Ground North Dakota podcast.